What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Tuesday, April 25th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 9-game slate tonight. So let's take a look at the pitcher position. So I like Nestor Cortes. He's pitching against the Minnesota Twins. Nestor Cortes giving up a .755 OPS versus righties, facing 6 righties. But I like this pick because the Twins have only hit 13 of his last 51 pitches. That's a .255 batting average. So Nestor Cortes is $10,500 FanDuel salary, $600 less on DraftKings, averaging 35 fantasy points per game on the season, has an ERA of 3.09, record is 3-0, pitching an average of 90 pitches per game, and Vegas thinks this is going to be a low-scoring game, only 6.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like Nestor Cortes here versus the Minnesota Twins. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. So I like Vinny Pasquantino with a 75% batting advantage here over Ryan Nelson. Vinny Pasquantino, he's batting 39% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .976 OPS versus righties. And Ryan Nelson pitching 36% worse to lefties as he does righties, giving up a .880 OPS versus lefties. Vinny is only $3,000 FanDuel salary. He's $500 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 18 and 22 fantasy points in his last 3 games. Scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, and he has a batting average of .291. So I like Vinny Pasquantino here versus Ryan Nelson. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. So I like, here's a value play here. I like Javier Baez. And he's got a 48% batting advantage over Eric Lauer. Javier Baez has not played very well so far this season. He's averaging a .437 OPS versus lefty pitchers, which is low, but it is a small sample size. Then Eric Lauer is pitching 63% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .872 OPS versus righties. But I like this pick because Javier Baez is 3 for 8 here versus Lauer. It's a .375 batting average and a 1.194 OPS. One of those hits was a home run. So he's $2,500 FanDuel salary, $800 more on DraftKings. Now he's only averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season, but he did score fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He scored a 12, a 9, and a 13 in his last 3. He's got a batting average of .222, but I think he's a good value play with a good batter versus pitcher matchup So I like Javier Baez here versus Eric Lauer. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like J.D. Davis with a 64% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Jake Woodford. J.D. Davis batting 61% better versus righty pitchers, batting a 1.214 OPS versus righties. Jake Woodford pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .974 OPS versus righties. Now, J.D. Davis is 0 for 1 versus Woodford, but he's averaged 11 fantasy points per game on the season, scored 29 fantasy points last game, only 3,100 FanDuel salary, 800 more on DraftKings, has a batting average of .304. So I like J.D. Davis here versus Jake Woodford.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. So I like Thairo Estrada. He's got a 34% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Jake Woodford. Thairo Estrada batting 31% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .971 OPS versus righties. Jake Woodford pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .974 OPS versus righties. Now, Thairo Estrada is 0 for 3 versus Woodford, but the splits are good here. He's 3,600 FanDuel salary, 1,800 more on DraftKings, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He's got a batting average of .313. Three out of his last 5 games, he put up 15 to 25 fantasy points. So I like Thairo Estrada here versus Jake Woodford. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. Let's see who we got here. I like Mike Yastrzemski. He's got a 36% batting advantage over that same low salary pitcher, Jake Woodford. Mike Yastrzemski batting 38% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .849 OPS versus righties. Jake Woodford giving up a .949 OPS versus lefties. Mike Yastrzemski is 1 for 2 here versus Woodford. And he's 3,000 FanDuel salary, 700 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. Lowest score was a 9. Highest score was a 22. He has a batting average of .280. So I like Mike Yastrzemski here versus Jake Woodford.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.